Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. It's time for some more Dota here. This time for the minor closed qualifiers, the Bucharest Minor to be exact. And, well, we have 6 teams in total here in the EU qualifiers. We'll start with 2 small groups of 3 OG Final Tribe and Helsinki Reds coming through the open qualifiers on this one. Vega, Nip, and Hippomaniacs, also an open qualifier team in group number A. One of those teams will be eliminated from each group. So, I gotta say, I'm kind of surprised to see Helsinki Reds making it through the qualifiers anyway. I believe they beat out Bursasport Esports in the quarterfinals, and then in the semis, which was the qualifying match for the Opens, they met another random stack. So I guess they got a little bit lucky here or there. They're certainly coming in as the massive underdogs, certainly up against OG, even though they've had their own issues. I mean, they lost to Alliance. Alliance single-handedly knocked them out of the major qualifiers in 2 different series, just altered format there, but they're here, they want to try and take that second chance, go through the minor all the way to the Chongqing Major. But for now, it's still a long road to take. For now, my name is Dragndrop. I'm joined by Neph, and, well, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. Up bright and early at 3 a.m. Excited to watch some EU Dota. You're saying Helsinki Reds are kind of underdogs? Well, let's see them prove themselves here. I'm interested in seeing what they can pull against OG. TI champions, by the way, Drag and Drop.
They are TI champions, yeah. They're missing one of their players, actually. Al2W, I'm just noticing that now, actually standing in for Pycat by the looks of it.
Anna said he was taking a break from Dota,
yeah,
I believe.
Oh, yeah. Anna's out.
I'm sure he deserves it.
Yeah, I mean, it's... You can look at these guys and say, like, oh, yeah, I would have expected Thompson to do it, you know? That would be super classy, just saying, oh, yeah. Everyone's like, hey, TI is so hard to win. I don't know what everyone's talking about.
Yeah,
it's his first major LAN. It just goes in, wins the whole thing, retires immediately. But I think Anna took the bullet instead. Thompson is still in it to win it here for sure.
Yep. So what was looked like a disaster for OG was the opportunity of a lifetime for Thompson. But anyways, let's talk about this game. Beastmaster and Tusk coming out inside of OG. We've had this patch for a little while now. Tag team is shown to be extremely powerful. Tusk is normally picked up or banned in the first phase recently, isn't he?
I've seen it a couple of times for sure, but well, as I said, it's certainly very, very powerful, so no surprise to see it snagged away by OG, especially with the combo already with the Beastmaster. I think we've seen it before, where the Beastmaster even went for the attack speed aura level 1, just to get the maximum value out of this tag team.
Oh yeah, it slows the hell out of them, does all that extra physical damage. You can do it so often too. That spell only has a 15-second cooldown.
I can't believe that hasn't been nerfed yet, but hey.
Yeah, a lot of other things have been nerfed, but not that for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they think it's not that powerful if it's not on a carry hero. But Rubik and Luna coming out on Helsinki Reds. Luna has had some interesting changes. I guess everyone's pretty familiar with them so far. The Lunar Blessing now granting stats instead of damage. Been nerfed a little bit, but the hero's still pretty strong and a lot better of a dual laner than it used to be, especially with these intel heroes, giving the int heroes a lot more mana to work with in the laning phase.
Yeah, for sure. Still got to see what kind of hero they actually want to come up with that, because Rubik might not be it. Of course, you all know him as a support hero, but recently he's been run in mid just as much, I feel like, to great success.
Yeah. He's got that treatment where he becomes so strong, his support, suddenly he's able to be played as a mid. Yeah. We see that every so often, huh?
Whoops, power creep hitting again. Whatever should we do? Oh well, I guess we'll just accept this and move on.
Let's talk about these bans that just came out, because these people are picking and banning in pretty short order here. Lone Druid, one of the stronger heroes, he got hit with a little bit of a nerf though, didn't he?
Could be.
7.20 B or C?
I lost track of all these numbers, honestly.
The letters, Drag and Drop.
Yeah, numbers, letters, it's the same thing, really. I mean, this is, bottom line is there's just a lot of number changes in the middle of them. Those just adjusting the wheels just a little bit for the most part. Apart from some of these changes where the face boots just returned to the old state. But something that's a little bit different here is the Drow Ranger.
Yep, Drow Ranger. You've been casting more Dota than me lately. You've been paying attention to everything. Your Grandmaster Drag and Drop. How much Drow Ranger have you seen?
Not a lot. not to negate
Alright.
that I casted. So it's a bit of a different type now. I mean, it's just because attack speed requires any other hero that you want to buff up to also be super farmed and just be able to take advantage of that attack speed. So you're thinking
Yep.
about heroes like Terrorblade or something with orbs like OD, for example. Just add attack speed onto that arcane orb. It's arguably better than the old extra damage. In that
On
particular
some
combo.
heroes, I'd say that it's a lot worse than others.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
Storm Spirit would have been better with the damage. TA would have been better with the damage. I think the hero's quite a bit worse overall. I mean, she's lost aura focus than she used to be. Sure, I'm not sure
Yeah.
how OG is gonna run this, but you know, they're TI champions. I'm sure they know something I don't.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Doesn't look like they've run Drow and Chongqing major qualifiers. They have run a lot of Void and Magnus, but they even banned out Magnus in first phase this time around. But yeah, Magnus and PA both, so it's one of these big combos that have emerged so far in the meta that's just very, very hard to deal with. So instead, they try and go back for this ranged strat. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see someone like OD, someone with an orb attack that can really make good use out of the attack speed, coming in from the mid lane now.
And out from Helsinki Reds comes Axe. That's a hero that we saw a lot of in the last patch. No changes to it in this one. We're seeing a lot in this patch too. Always you have the use of the call, BKB piercing disable, 3.2 seconds. Huge with a blink dagger, even bigger with blade mail. So I don't think Axe is going anywhere, and he's a pretty solid pick in basically any draft.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and last hero, pretty competent Axe player out of the off lane, if I remember correctly. But thing is that I'm worried about with Helsinki Reds, like every time I see them play, is that they kind of tend to lack an idea of how to actually win the game. And in this one, you see, all right, decent lanes, Luna, Rubik could still be mid, could still be just a lane support here. Could also help out the Undying. Undying could also be helping out the Luna, just depending on how they want to prioritize these lanes. But they don't really have easy ways to engage and, more importantly, take objectives. So is there here? I mean, in this game, it's a little bit different because you have the Luna for pushes. You have Undying kind of show up these early team fights. Axe provides a bit of initiation. But is it going to be enough up against what OG have right now? Because between the Tusk, the Oracle has a good amount of save potential. Drow Ranger, that's, I mean, still doing a lot of siege damage over time on towers with all this attack speed, all this right-clicked power. Is it enough to break through OG? Or does it just require too much execution and too much being able to outplay your opponent?
I think they can break through them at this moment. I think that they have a pretty good chance of doing well in this laning phase with the Undying, the Rubik, and the Luna. They can get behind or get past the enemies in this team fight with the Axe, called the Drow Ranger. Drow Ranger is super susceptible to the Axe, as you know. You got to be a little bit worried about your ability to snowball if you're Helsinki Reds against a Beastmaster Tusk lane. They have a lot of strength there. They have a lot of strength from tag team with that Drow aura. Since they're getting more attacks in more quickly, that means whoever Tusk is hitting with that tag team is going to be slowed again and again. Oracle is one of the lowest base attack time heroes in the game. Coupled with Drow Ranger's extra attack speed, it actually is going to do some huge damage.
All right.
So you got decent ways of dealing with the early game power of Undying and Luna on OG, and you have to be a little bit worried about that if you're Helsinki Reds, but it is possible for them to be able to pull this off with their draft.
Alright, we'll see will they have the strength to do it as they pick up yet another red hero. Ember Spirit coming in. Suddenly gives you, he's gonna have to itemize against the silences and whatnot, so maybe Yule's will be in order at some point, but beyond that, it's one of these heroes that is very mobile, can be very hard to actually lock down. Unless you get to jump on him here with Beastmaster or something like that, or Shadowblade if he doesn't have a Linken's. Like, there are some ways for OG, and they still have a hero left to pick here, of course.
I mean, if you got quick fingers on the Ember Spirit, I feel like you can get that Remnant off before the roar hits you. It does have a little bit of a cast time.
Yeah.
Not huge, but a little bit. Enough to dodge. I mean, nothing like we saw Anna dodging
God, yeah.
TI finals and OG, but
Pick an Ember against OG, even though Anna is not with them right now, is still just gives these kind of flashbacks at times. And Arc
I
1
like
comes
it.
through though for Thompson. Oh.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, can they deal with the Arc 1 now? Because
I'm not sure. That's going to make the push way harder for a hero like
Yeah.
Luna. You don't want to creep up too close to the enemy base on the Luna and get behind to that magnetic field that the Arc Warden lays down. That's going to make the push infinitely harder. And it's a natural pairing with the Drow Ranger.
Yeah.
You always pick up Maelstrom on that Arc Warden. So the extra attack speed you get from that, getting all those chain lightnings off on the enemy team is going to be insane.
Oof. Oh boy, oh boy. Well, Helsinki Reds, they've got the work cut out for them. We are going to be treated to the Thompson Arc 1 with the Drow Ranger Oracle just to show everything up. Tuscan Beastmaster also just to provide a bit of extra control in these mid-game fights. A lot of vision too, haven't talked too much about that, but Beastmaster's Hawk, less flexible than used to be, but a lot easier to use and more reliable. And kind of this fire and forget Hawk, where you don't have to micro it and you don't have to worry necessarily about it being scouted out en route, unless there's like a sentry and observer ward combo somewhere.
Great for low APM noobs like myself.
Yeah, exactly. Point is, like, I do like OG's lineup here, especially with this last pick. And of course, they're coming in as the heavy favorites here. Even though they didn't make it through the major qualifiers, they're still TI winners at heart. And Helsinki Reds, they've had their own share of issues for a long, long time now. So I'm okay. Zep's at it again. So I don't want to lie and say that I have huge confidence in Helsinki Reds here.
There's one thing you're not considering here, though, Drag and Drop. OG can simply go through the minors, win the minor, then win the major for maximum DPC points.
Well, you don't get the minor points if you get higher points on a major.
Wait, really?
You only get one set of points.
Boo!
So basically, if you win the minor and then ball out at the major and go in last, and you still have more points, because you get the top points from the minor, which is slightly more than last place points for the major. Same with prize pool, I think.
Okay.
But the moment you get one stage further, I think you get get the major points instead.
Okay.
Get whatever's higher.
Yeah, I was a little bit.
No, you don't add them up.
I was a little bit confused.
Anyway, bit of an early tussle here. No tail comes through. Nice little root, couple punches. The tag team. They're tackling Womber already. He's dead.
Yeah,
And,
down he goes in pretty short order.
Yeah, that didn't take long at all, did it?
Nope. And they might as well invade up here on the Axe, because they're going to get 2 bounty runes in the bottom lane.
The battle
Next one up top. Zep can't be stopped either, so it's a 3-for-1 exchange.
Yep.
Particular
I'll
department.
take that trade. So, that's the power of tag team, and Axe knew that cooldown on that ability is super short, even though it had the power to take down Rubik right there. They still had it ready to go right after, so Axe had to back up there.
Yeah.
Hero like Axe not able to hold his ground against an ability that strong.
Yeah, certainly not, especially since it's physical damage. So one thing that's you could do to nerf that would just be to make it magical. Because right now, Axe only with 1 armor, there's not a whole lot that he has up against that. If it's magical damage, at least he has some basic resistance against it, but
in the early game. But then wouldn't it be super strong in the late game as well? It's a little bit hard to balance it, huh?
I don't know. I think it would be fine.
Axe has realized, alright, I'm not going to be able to sit in this lane. I'm going to have to creep cut. But he's getting hit by this tag team, and like I was talking about at the start of this game, Oracle's got one of the highest base attack times in the game, so it works super well. This
He
tag.
rooted up, he's spinning quite a lot, but he used a lot of his health pool. Doesn't have a self, only has a few tangos to work with. Womber, same story, can't share one over, and both these supports are just gonna make them work for it super hard. Another root coming out, Jarex with another tag team. Are they gonna get the skill here? Ah, not quite, not this time.
They're forced to let him walk away there, though. He was punished pretty heavily for that. He's going to have to use a couple of his tangos.
The LCW farming all the way in front of his tier 2. Distracted to the next creep, I have no cares in the world. Oh god, Womber, not again. How is this allowed? How can you just keep tag teaming them for 40 mana?
Yep. 40 mana, 15-second cooldown, again and again, huge amounts of damage coming out from this spell, especially when you have an ally nearby. Even without an ally nearby, at level 1, that ability is insane. It does more damage. You're going to get 3 or 4 hits off in 5 seconds, right?
Yeah.
And with that added slow, it stops the enemies from running away. It is insane. And it's given us no time to look at the other lanes either.
Well, one thing that Tusk's presence in his bottom
Here it
lane
is.
does is what? Well, again. There we go. They're doing it again last year this time. He has 2 freaking stout shields. You want to try and skip creep waves with that, but well, can really hardly do that when 2 supports chasing you down all the freaking time. Top lane Beast Master went down. His last hero just GP's out. Even with the power of tag team, it's not quite enough. Meanwhile, Oracle ends up dropping to Womber.
Yep. So we got punished a little bit for the going too heavily on the Axe there, and Axe managed to get away. He does have to TP to base, so it's going to cost him a little bit of time in this lane. Time the Draw Ranger is happy to have, but might give us a little bit of time to look in these other lanes now. So we did see Seb go down to the Luna Undying combo. That's not that surprising. I like that they've just kind of left Seb by himself, because you don't want to be pitting multiple heroes against this Undying.
And so far it's working out. I mean, he's still getting a decent amount of CS. He's getting his levels, most importantly. It only died once. As far as solo offlanes are concerned, this is still acceptable, very much so.
Yep.
But again, I still feel like with I mean, Bucharest is having so much success down bottom, so might as well put that tag team to use here rather than on top, as he's actually committing in on Womber, forcing a TP out on him as well, all the way back to base. Last hero is alone. Only 1 single share Tango left, so he can't really continue to contest anything right now until Womber's back.
And him using that, he's all out. He's got 2 stout shields and a quelling blade. This is a shield in each hand, an axe in his third hand.
Axe on his feet.
Yeah, an axe on one of his foot. He's just hopping along the battlefield.
Maybe he's just duct taping the shields to his forehead or something.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the way it works.
Or duct taping the quelling blade to his forehead. He just slams his head onto the enemies. I'm pretty sure that's how axes play.
Oh yeah. Would certainly be thematic. Talk to me about this mid lane, because right now Thompson is going ham, which is what you would probably expect here, a ranged hero up against an Ember Spirit. A lot of harassment coming in from Reflux and Spark Wraiths.
Yeah, and he is assisted a little bit in this Precision Aura. He's got 19 extra attack speed right now. He's got 3 Wraith Bands, so this Ember Spirit, instead of getting whacked once, he gets whacked 3 times every time he gets too close to this creep wave because of all this extra attack speed from the Wraith Bands.
Zero Jarek's gonna snowball across Womber. He dropped super low, but no, Axe brought down first. Hey, guess what? Another Titan Jarek's just trying to hide behind the tree. Didn't quite work out. I mean, Womber does get the kill, but at what cost? It's not just the death, it's also bounty runes.
That creep ended up giving him the vision right there. Otherwise, he would have been completely safe behind that tree. So, nice little try for a cheeky play there by Jerax. That's the kind of things that you expect out of him.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's pretty well known for his Tusk as well. It's his Tusk and his Earth Spirit that he is renowned for. And now that tag team's gotten a little bit of, or now that tag team exists in the game, he's back strong.
Oh, look at this, Undying doing the thing.
Wait,
hey,
no,
there's a snowball across. Yeah, no, so
oh
close.
no!
So close. I mean, he was there for the experience, I guess, right?
Yep, he got the experience. He didn't get any of that extra gold, though. That would have been pretty nice to get. Especially considering he's a little bit under-farmed on this stuff.
Oh, yeah. For that to work, you have to actually do some damage. So if you don't do damage, then you don't get the kill credit, even though you're close by as what the hell?
Top lane, by the way.
He dove in hard top lane, yep. Rad 8, just with this rotation forced out mid, is going to clean up top. One lane as well, by the looks of it, just kills everywhere. So OG, even though they give up tops in here, they're just taking the advantages in these side lanes instead, knowing that, hey, this is Undying, he made the rotation to try and help out. And if he didn't come in, I would assume that Thompson would have just gotten that kill. But Ember was very low there.
Yeah.
Okay,
fortunately, Ember can leave and come back in pretty easily.
Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing if this Ember Spirit's going to go Boots of Travel and TP.
Snowball comes out. Last hero can't even TP out if he wanted to. Now 3 heroes running it down. It's gonna be another kill. And there's some ghost tops as well. Top lane Zep dies again to 2 different heroes. I think Vipo running around from the back.
Yeah,
Speaking
this
of from the
Rubik's
back,
gonna have to be a little bit careful. He's trying to do something pretty cheeky here, though.
Ooh,
He wraps around on him.
He's being gone on here. Doesn't have a double. Does not have too much help coming in until just now. No-Tail showing up. Cast a few spells. Triple run then forward. Thompson still alive. Only just with Snowball across. Another couple of spells. Right clicks here should be enough. But Womber, well, he will die in exchange. You'll be slowed down by one of these random spark rays. But I don't think No-Tail or Jarex can really convert that into anything more.
They're gonna try. He gives Jarex the mango to try and block him off, but it's not quite enough.
It's also
He messes
not
it
really
up.
the angle that you can do that with, right?
Yeah, you need to be standing a little bit closer to that ledge to be able to get off that ice shards that blocks it there. They did try to go for it though. It's a teamwork that you expect of TI underdogs. Just kind of forced to work with what they had. Ended up bringing home a championship.
Well, that's the way it works sometimes. But I mean, with all of this action happening though, now shifting towards these other lanes, at least LTW, I mean, he's level 8, so he can start one-shotting Ancients, because that's balanced. Sitting at 60 last hits, 25 denies. No one's in bottom lane right now, but eventually someone will go in and take advantage of that. Meanwhile, last hero just runs straight into 2 different heroes. With Jarex in there, the roar comes out just to keep on dying away. They finish up one hero first, Tombstone. Down for the count in a couple of seconds. Vipo blocked him by the shots. He doesn't know where to go. Now the snowball comes across. It's gonna be 2 heroes down plus a Tombstone. And look at middle lane here. Beautiful signs coming through from LTW. Just keeps you away.
Yeah, LTW coming out a little bit slow with that one. He did try to save his teammate, but you know, it's just not enough sometimes.
Thompson did go down in the end. So, as a result, it's not really slowing him down too much. I mean, he's still sitting at 4k net worth here, 5.5k on LTW, just getting so freaking far ahead. More Ancients being stacked by the supports.
Yep.
So, is there anything that goes Helsinki Reds' way right now?
Their axe is getting a little bit of much-needed space, and speaking of that, he's about to go down to Thompson. So I spoke a little bit too soon there.
Castle scores so much damage here from these rapes. Very easy kill. Meanwhile, up top, we do see something blue and Seal making that rotation in. Jax, Snowball, just to delay things a little bit further. Shards trying to go for some tricky plays, but don't tell me he's just walking away from this. I mean, he's buying some space, but yeah, he's not walking away. That would be a little bit too much to ask.
One. Decided I'm going to save my one for a rainy day, 4 charges. Not going to use it when I'm guaranteed to be dead.
Yep.
So, Axe was getting a little bit of space there, but look at this Axe's items for a second here. He's got 2 Stout Shields, a Coiling Blade, a Ring of Protection, and he's carrying more Tangos. On here with the kind of base regeneration that Axe has. He's been having an awful game.
Yeah.
He's forced to buy the Ring of Protection just for some extra armor against the Tusk of that tag team. Because he didn't have anything. He had 6% physical damage resistance at the start of this game.
Well,
and sure, he's doing a little bit better now, but he's taking way too much damage to that tag team, that Oracle, with that low base attack time and the Drow Ranger attack speed.
Like, he's nowhere near where you ideally want to be as an Axe here 10 minutes in. So, like,
Yeah,
he's only dreaming of a Vanguard and a Blink at this point. Can't even go to the Ruins, there's a bunch of Spark Rays on it here. They lift Rabbit back, who does have the Eclipse to work with here, doesn't actually need to use up against Gyrox, just buying some more time. But it's 4 people in this general area just having to deal with him right now, and this is just not efficient. Look at this, bottom lane, Thompson's farming, top lane, they claim the tower, Zep just continuing to push, middle lane. You've got ILTW rotating between the lane and the Ancient Camp.
Nope. So even when Tusk dies there, you pretty much come ahead and farm, given the fact that you're using all the resources on the map so well there on OG.
Speaking of using
So
resources,
was it really worth it?
Arc 1 with the Midas. There's 1, there's 2. It's not quite the Ogre multicast Midas, but it's close enough. But now he has to maybe get himself out of there. But even though there's still 4 heroes in this area, it's so hard for them to even walk in. They have no initiation. They have to go through a freaking forest of Spark Rays at this point to even get to the lane, which is not fun at all.
So, they play a little bit more careful now. on their side, given the fact that OG is up 7k net worth at 11 minutes. That might be 7k at 12 minutes, I spoke a little bit too soon. But yeah, they're getting dominated right now. I mean, OG is just coming out ahead everywhere on the map.
Yeah. It's not even like these big outplays or anything just yet. I mean, it's just too early for that. It's just all around better efficiency here. Jarek's just had so much more impact. 2, 3, and 8 on his 4-position task. Just keeping... It's not just about the kills that you get in the early game. It's more about keeping them away from creeps. And they certainly accomplished that. He's even slightly outliving the axe right now, I think.
Yeah, they tried to go on Womber there, but he does manage to get back. He's playing very far back right now. They don't want to give any more opportunities to OG to get further ahead in this game. They realize that right now they're pretty far behind, so they're playing super safe.
What do you want to do here? I mean, Spark Wave stolen from Rubik, so he can do a lot of damage with that. But now, the shot's not quite blocking him in, but there's some proper Spark Waves coming in from the real tops, and then a couple of right clicks from the high ground. Who needs blocks, you know? Just can
yeah, he wasn't trapped out, he was actually trapped in right there.
Oh god. Jarek's concerned for their well-being. Are you okay? They say.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Nice little chat banter. That's what I loved about the series against Alliance, I think. There was a lot of that back and forth.
Recasting
Alliance
that
and Liquid. I don't think so, but Alliance and Liquid as well, I think. I've tuned in a few times. There was a lot of like all chat, voice lines and everything going on, so it's all good fun. It's always great to see. But yeah,
wait, does marksmanship go through agility?
What?
I mean, what did I just say?
Yes.
Does marksmanship goes through Roshan's armor?
I think so. There's the Eclipse coming in. Of course, wasted on Grease, but still doing enough damage to chop down Thompson here. Oracle keeps himself alive. Another remnant forward. That's five people. Yeah, 5 people running them down. One by one here, trying to find more, but now OG, they're not even afraid, are they? LTW, he has the Shadow Blade. He has the Aegis, looking to... Oh god, almost 2-shot Womber. Got a little bit more lucky there. They're still bringing him down with the Roar over on Vibo. He's not going to be long for the world either, so they get some instant revenge. Only on supports though.
Yep. And it's worth it a lot for Helsinki Reds. Open up the fight recap. Actually,
that doesn't quite catch the whole
fight
thing.
Only says it was 2 for 0.
Yeah, it's...
Opening up fight recap. That's not quite right.
Nah, it's just too much time in between.
Yeah, I'd say that's a much needed relief for Helsinki Reds.
Jarek's.
But he actually didn't go on the Ember Spirit though. He went on the creeps. He baited that remnant out there.
That wasn't even a misplay, was it? That was planned, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that was planned.
Because, yeah, you know that the remnant's going to be there, so you don't want to dive and pass the
back.
tower. Oh, no tail. He's in a lot of trouble. He does get the ultimate off, though. Can he himself up enough? Well, he suddenly got some help coming through, so they could potentially take a fight if this continues here. But he did heal himself enough. No Thompson coming from the side. Another snowball across. Rabbit, that's a stone false promise. Now the silence coming in on 4 people from ILTW, just starting to click away at them. And now they're right next to him. He's going to need some extra punches, and they're going to have it. Rabbit dropping super low. And ILTW just dances around. He doesn't even care. This marksmanship got disabled.
God.
They're just tearing through everybody.
ILTW coming with the back line, hitting them with that silence. That was huge. Pushing them all forward, giving the small disable, silenced all 3 of those heroes. That was sick.
That was some next level shit right there. And now, well, if there was any doubt that OG had control, well, you can lay those to rest. It's time to work away. Not just 1, but 2 different tier 2 towers with the 15-minute catapult wave. And they can take it to the high ground. They still have an Aegis for another 2.5 minutes. They also have ice shots blocking 2 different heroes. Womber has to deal with this Hawk 1 clone, but it's just solo killing him at this point.
Yep. Too much attack speed, all that Maelstrom damage, extra Drow attack speed too. 92 extra attack speed right now. That is insane. Look at this tower go down right now.
Trying to look at both towers here at the same time, and kind of
Precision
questionable which one is actually dying faster. The one in the bottom, as it turns out, is Thompson have to back off just a little bit here. Last hero Still doesn't have his blink, so can't even go in. You know, they're dropping down Tombstone, trying to get rid of it. But even the boars are just enough to bring it down as the Roar comes through. Followed with the silence here. Starts directing away. Jarex throws down the punches. That's one down. Trying to turn this around here. Last here with the call in front, but it's Snowball save! And to the false promise. LTW once again, he does not care. He has the Aegis. He's just clicking away. They ignore the Eclipse. They bring them down one by one with the blink forward. Ultra kill from LTW. Can he get a Rampage? Well, no one's in range right now. LTW wants to get the buildings first. Objective-based gaming.
Yeah,
That's what
this
they're
is
all
disciplined
about.
Dota
Last
right
zero.
here.
Yeah, just has to walk away.
Mere men like us would say, I want Rampage and dive those tier 4s, but not the gods of OG.
At least Wombo stole the magnetic field, so it'll slow down the push somewhat, but just not enough. Nice little double chainsaw from CU. What do you really do here? You don't have the tools to play up against this.
Yep,
Now,
and oh my god,
gonna go
Axe
down
gets
last
blocked off,
hero.
and he's gonna pay with his knife.
It's way too slow. Tries to go for some call plays. Dunks the freaking hawk. But GG is called 17.5 minutes in.
Dire's middle tower is under
And,
17.5 minutes, and if that GG didn't come out there, they would have killed that throne at 18 minutes. That is insane by OG, but it looks like you were right, Drag and Drop. The underdogs were Helsinki Reds.
yeah.
17 minutes, 44 seconds, 21k lead for OG.
Yeah. I mean, I do feel a little bit bad for them because they've never had, like, they've been together for so long, but I've yet to see them perform properly. I mean, of course, it's maybe a bad benchmark up against OG. It's, again, still TI winners, so can't really fault them too much in this particular series, but again, it's been a bit of a pattern for them, so I do hope they find a way to improve going forward, because they are committed together, and this is something that not a lot of teams actually can say for themselves, so that part works in their favor. But OG, even with another stand-in here, LTW just having a very easy game, as it turns out, with the help of the rest of the team here in game number 1. This is the best of 2 series, though, so Helsinki Reds will have to try again in game number 2. We'll take a closer look at that in just a few moments' time, so don't go too far away.